It's a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. We'll take a look at that at the tail end of this video. What's up, YouTube? It's T-Money. Welcome to my first NFL predictions video I have done in a very long time on this channel. The last time I did this was playoff predictions. And yes, as you can see by the sheet in front of us, we're doing it just like we're doing it with college football. We have Elijah in the background. We have Jake here on the call. How's it going, Jake?
I'm doing good.
You a little nervous for this weekend since you being a Vikings fan?
Trevor, I'm not going to lie. I'm very used to this team both exceeding my expectations and squishing me like a bug. So it's pretty much par for the course anymore.
It really is. Well, how about we get this week kicked off with that Thursday night game, and that is the Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles coming off a actually really close win over the New England Patriots. I remember at one point they were leading by 20 at one point?
Something like that.
And then almost allowing them to come back, still end up getting the win. And then for Minnesota, they're coming off another disappointing loss. And yes, it's only week 1. We're saying another because I'm not the Vikings fan, but I can probably speak for Viking fans when I say this. This is a regular occurrence for this team.
And as a Vikings fan, he's not wrong.
So, Elijah, you're in the background. We can see you. If you want to type in your prediction while I have Jake talk about his prediction, I'm pretty sure you're gonna pick the Eagles. Jake, are you picking the Eagles as well?
My heart says no, but my head says yes. So I'm going with the Eagles here just because it's in Philadelphia. Season home opener against the Eagles, a team that absolutely mollywomped us exactly 1 year ago, also in week 2. Only difference is that was a Monday night game versus a Thursday night game. But we also are now down our starting center. Our interior offensive line is absolute dog manure. And I'm basically looking at a 2020 Vikings team at this point until proven otherwise. And like I say, this isn't me necessarily just bashing on my team. I just know the trends. All I know is this could be a very, very long season if we don't get this turned around. But I just don't see it happening on Thursday. So it'll be the Eagles with me.
Elijah basically says the exact same thing. Rebuild year for you guys. He's gonna say use the head. He's picking the Eagles here. I'm following suit with all of that. You gotta pick the Eagles. They're coming off a Super Bowl appearance and a loss against the Chiefs, so they're looking to make it back to the Super Bowl here. This Super Bowl. Next game, and this one, the line for this one is 1 for the road favorite in the Packers. And they will travel to the Falcons, who have a turn down the TV. Who are going to take on the Falcons, who have Bijan Robinson, who I've officially been told he has not lost a game in his entire career. Or Desmond Ridder has not lost a game at home in his career. What do you think, Jake?
Honestly, this game is a toss-up for me just because, well, yeah, sure, Jordan Love and the Packers looked great last week, but to be fair, it was also the Bears. And as a long-life Minnesota Vikings fan, that's kind of like choosing, between the lesser of evils there and stuff like that. But honestly,
it's a toss-up. It really is a toss-up
because again, in cases like this where it's a toss-up or it's a very close line, Yeah, like I say, if it is
Hold on a second, guys. We're having some
at home.
we're having a slight technical difficulty with the Wi-Fi here in the hotel that I'm in because I'm currently in St. Louis. Um, do you want to repeat what you said again? You cut
Alrighty. Well, basically, long story.
out. As he cuts out again. That's great. So basically he's saying that he's picking the Falcons, I believe, because you're Jake, you're cutting out pretty heavily. It's because of the Wi-Fi. We knew we were going to deal with this issue, but I'm assuming you're picking the Falcons.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So we got Falcons. We got Falcons from Elijah. We got Falcons from Jake. Now here's the thing with NFL predictions: they're really hard to get differences, especially with how close these games are. This is not me trying to hate on Packer fans, as there's one standing literally to the back left of me. Jordan Love, Jordan Love looked good, but you gotta also remember they played a Bears team that was garbage. This is Jordan Love's first true test in the NFL because you have a young quarterback for the Falcons. You have a rookie wide receiver who tore up week 1 and who knows what he's going to do in this league. You don't know. It's more of, is Jordan Love ready to face this true test in an NFC team like the Falcons? The Packers being the road favorite, I can see since this game is in Atlanta, I gotta favor the Falcons here. I got to. It's kind of it's a honest to god toss up because you never know if. I will say this: the Packers defense looked amazing, but then again, we also have to think it's the Bears offense. So if the
And
Packers can
I
run
will
the
also say, Trev, cutting you
uh-huh.
off real quick here, the Packers defense shows up for about 6 games a year, and then it kind of goes into hibernation. This has been going on for like 5+ years. So,
So it's recently that's an agreeable statement. Um, but yeah, if the Packers want to win this game, their defense has got to play how they did when they won their Super Bowl back in 2011.
mm,
But
especially because they have a lot of young, great players too. Like Bijan is a potential star. Kyle Pitts is a guy you can't rest on. I mean, they even have backups in Algier. I mean, they have a lot of young talent that, if they can develop properly under Arthur Smith, the Falcons could be a force in the future.
very much. All right, moving on to the next game. This one we might be our first difference game. That is the 1-0 Raiders going to Buffalo to take on the 0-1 Buffalo Bills. Now, I'll go ahead and take this one. I'll take this one to lead off. You got to think the Bills had a very bad game and the Jets capitalized on that. The Raiders, well, we don't know if the Raiders are bad per se, as I'm reading Elijah's comment. We don't know if the Raiders are bad because you also got to think they beat the Broncos by 1 point. The Broncos have a brand new head coach and a head coach that can win a Super Bowl for you guys. So it could just been one game and it's like, I don't know. I was just reading something. That's why with the random I know. This one's a real toss up for me. Elijah, can you look up the line while I have Jake give a prediction here?
Well, I mean, again, like I say, the Raiders last week. To be fair, though, they were playing the Broncos, which are still kind of, I think, figuring themselves out and stuff like that. Even though I will say, though, the Broncos did put up a pretty good fight, all things considered, and all that stuff. It's just the Raiders, at least in recent memory, have had the Broncos number, regardless of how good or bad the team is and stuff like that. But ooh, I mean, this is intriguing because is this in Buffalo?
It is in Buffalo.
And considering Buffalo, coming off of that Monday night, just I really don't know what to call it. A gut punch, a shot to the kidneys, just a Josh Allen fluke game. I really don't know. Especially with the whole Rodgers issue, and like his injury and stuff like that being season ending. But like I say, we'll probably get to that later and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, give me the Bills in a bounce back, just kind of like what Elijah says. And according to Elijah, it's a 9.5 point favorite for Buffalo.
I seen that. I was just getting ready to say that.
So yeah,
This
give me Buffalo in the bounce back.
I may have to. I want to agree, but we need differences. I'm just gonna. I'm probably gonna keep it safe and play the agreements card here. I'm picking the Bills. There, I mean, if the
Oh yeah, like I
Raiders
said,
go ahead.
there's plenty of games going on here, like coming up and stuff like that. That'll be very intriguing and stuff like that. Because, like I say, this is really my first time looking at the week 2 full roster of games for the week. So there's some intriguing matchups that I'm even kind of seeing right now. So yeah, but yeah, like I say, the Bills bounce back in my opinion.
I will say yes. I picked the Bills, and so does Elijah here. Buffalo, this is a trap game. You have got to win this game. If you lose this game, you are in massive trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on down, and actually have no idea how. Actually, no, the Rave. Wait, hold on. Wait. There we go. So the Ravens and the Bengals. The Ravens coming off a win, and the Bengals coming off a very, very, very shocking performance by the newly signed Joe Burrow. So I don't know. Does is I'll ask this for you, Jake, and that basically I'll have you answer with your prediction. Was that game just a fluke for Joe Burrow, or are the Bengals actually in trouble?
Ask me after this week. Ask
Af-
me after we see them go up against the Ravens and stuff like that because the Browns, for whatever reason, the Browns and the Bengals always have like really high profile matchups. No matter how good or bad they are, they're always competitive back and forth, even going back to like the freaking Colt McCoy days and like the freaking like Trent Dilfer days. I mean, it's always been an intriguing matchup to see, even though Cleveland hasn't really been the greatest franchise in the last several years, and the Bengals have also been kind of in a dumpster fire. But I mean, again, you just the bang. The thing is, whenever you pay a quarterback like they did with Joe Burrow and stuff like that, you're always kind of at the mercy of you know just various different things and stuff like that. Plus, the elements were kind of against. Well, to be fair, though, they're also against the Browns, which is no excuse. But still, though, I this is kind of a toss up here. So for me, I will say, hmm, give me the Bengals here to bounce back because if they don't, then they're really in trouble, like the Bills, in my opinion, because that now not only are you down in your division, you're down 2 games to the division at 0-2, and you're 0-2 to start the year. And the Ravens are down J.K. Dobbins. However, though, Lamar Jackson is more than capable of, taking matters into his own hands, and Zay Flowers is good. I think even Mark Andrews, I don't know if he's going to be in this week. I know he was out last week. But yeah, I don't know. Something just tells me I'm going to go with the Bengals on this one. And it
so
looks
like
like
I
Elijah agrees.
Yes, Elijah looks like he's in agreement here. Um, I will say this, the same thing I said with the Bills. This is a trap game for the Bengals. If you lose this, you are in trouble. You're a team
Mm,
who has appeared in 3 consecutive playoff games against the Kansas City Chiefs, has won one of them, right? I believe it's 3 in a row. It has to be 3 in a row.
yeah.
So
Uh, at least 2 in a row,
it's at
and
least
including a Super Bowl appearance.
yeah, that Super Bowl appearance, they went through the Chiefs to make it
Hmm.
there. I streamed that game. So I think the Bengals do get the bounce back here. They really need it, especially with Joe Burrow.
Bills and the Bills are very similar in that where if they don't, yeah, because if they don't, they're both in a lot of trouble, especially because the AFC is by far a stronger conference than the NFC. If you fall behind 2 games, I mean, you might not even make the playoffs.
Yeah. All right, next game up, and this one is going to be a fun game, personally, because I honestly think this might actually be a really good game. That is the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions coming off a Thursday night upset of the Super Bowl champion Chiefs in their building. And the Seahawks, they're coming off let me just make sure I get this right. A 30-13 loss to the Rams. Now, the Seahawks and Rams always end up playing each other tough because I think that's all division games. They always are tough, both sides.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Jake here?
Well, I mean, like I say, it's kind of in a similar vein to the other 2 teams, too. It's like, because, well, like I say, it is also week 1, so take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, week 1 was not kind to our picks and stuff like that, just because there's always a lot of upsets and teams that might not necessarily win that you expect to win, and, lose and stuff like that. But
Me being the only one that bet the Jets
honestly,
last week.
yeah, which again, we'll get to that when we get to that. But it's just one of those things where it's like the Lions. I mean, to be fair though, the Lions did beat the Chiefs team by 1 point without Chris Jones, who conveniently signed this week. Type your conspiracy theories in the chat below there, and also without Travis Kelce. But at the end of the day, though, the Lions still got the job done, and the Lions are still a force to be reckoned with, which, again, as a Vikings fan, I never thought I'd be saying that at this point. I mean, especially with how many years the Lions have been, well, the Lions, I mean, there have always been that lovable loser, kind of like the Cubs were back in the day and stuff like that before they finally managed to get the World Series in 2016 and stuff like that. So, but the Lions are for real, though. I will say that, though. The Lions are not a team to sneeze at by any means. If they can get on a roll, I love what Dan Campbell has done up there in Detroit. So for that, and Detroit's at home, right?
Yes, Detroit is the home team.
Give me, you know what? Screw it. Give me the Lions here.
I think this game is going to be closer than what uh, a lot of people are gonna say it is. Yes, Dan Campbell is a very good head coach. I'm gonna throw this out there now. I'm gonna make my bold prediction. Hot take of week 2: the Detroit Lions win the NFC North.
That's not really a hot take, Trevor. The media's been saying that since like June.
Well, I'm joining the media. The Lions will win the NFC North. You heard, you heard, you heard it here. However many times later.
Yeah. Like I say, you're way behind the trend there, buddy. They've been saying that literally since the end of last year, and I'm not even exaggerating. Which honestly, as a Vikings fan, would be kind of nice. Be better than seeing the Green Bay mother freaking Packers. Anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the Lions on this game. This like I said, this game is going to be close, but I think the Lions pull ahead at the get a 2-score lead at the end, and that's the difference. All right,
Mhm.
next.
And also Elijah agrees too.
Yeah. Next game is, let me make sure I pull up the right game here, is the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Now, the line is 1 for Indianapolis. And the AFC South, like every division game, call me a broken record here, is it always a close game. It doesn't matter who the teams are.
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
because I think the Texans, literally the Texans' only wins have usually always came in the regular season against a division opponent.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and kick off predictions for this one. I think this game is going to be another dogfight. Looking at the last matchup, it was a 32-31 win for the Texans. It was a one-score game, and that was in Indianapolis. That game, I think, knocked Indy out of the playoffs. If I remember correctly, because I know that Indy needed to win to make the playoffs. If they lost, Jacksonville got it.
Oh yeah.
And since Indy lost, Jacksonville made it in. So, I think this game is going to be another close battle. I'm picking the Texans in my upset of the week. I don't know why.
Ooh.
I don't know why. It's more of this the Texans always play the AFC South tough. So I picked the Jets. They were that game was so I was nervous all the way through, even at overtime. I'm gonna say the Texans win by the same score, 32-31 in Houston.
You know what? For the just for the lulls and for the sake of effort, I'm gonna go with the Texans. But for now, I'm just gonna make it a regular pick and not a upset. I'm gonna go Texans.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And let me guess, it's a you don't know why. You just have that sneaky feeling.
Yeah, because Anthony Richardson is good, but the problem is I don't know like exactly what weapons he has. And like you say, the Texans have had
A little bit of news for the Eagles and
beat that
Vikings game.
team, or you know take care of that team. It's always in the back of your mind.
Yeah. Little bit of breaking news for the Vikings and Eagles game. The Eagles are listing running back Kenneth Gainwell and cornerback James Bradley as out for tomorrow night's game.
Ooh. Well, good thing I have Gainwell on my bench.
I guess that is a good thing. All right.
Granted, I
Next up.
still anyway like yeah.
All right, next up. It's the 0-1, and that's. Do I need to? Am I the only one that thinks that's weird that says that? Hello? Hello? Apparently I am. The
I know,
Kansas
right?
City Chiefs.
Check 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? Yeah.
The 0-1 Kansas City Chiefs take on the 1-0 Jacksonville Jaguars in Duval. So
Oh man.
let me bring up the line for this really quick. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone, so I'll tell you what it is. The line is currently 3.5 for the Kansas City Chiefs. With this being in Jacksonville, this should be a good bounce back game. Oh, also, the Eagles Eagles have. Hold on, some misinformation has been sent to me. Brief pause in the broadcast. No, I'm just kidding. I'll keep going with the Chiefs and Jags game. So yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars had a amazing game against the Indianapolis Colts, pulling out the win 31-21. And that was in Indianapolis. So this is Jacksonville's home opener to start for their home opener for the year. I don't know what I like Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback. I also like Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. This is a very tough game to pick for me because both quarterbacks are actually really freaking good. Lawrence is going to have a Super Bowl in his career. Am I wrong to say that?
I can see it, but I just don't know. Like I say, there's a lot that can go on there, but I definitely can see it. I just don't know if it's going to be with Jacksonville, if it's going to be with a different team. I mean, I can see it though. He definitely has the skill set to do it.
I also want to throw this out here. We're all 0-1 with picking games that involve the Chiefs. We are also 1-0 with picking games that are involve the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me just throw
but
that
it's also
out there.
literally week 2.
Yeah,
it's literally week 2 though, so that doesn't really mean much, you know. If
but
this continues on to like week 8 or something, then I can see it, you know. But it's just, it's just week 1 is always so unpredictable.
And that's why we'll get to it later, but that's why I picked the Jets because I wanted it to be unpredictable.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm really having an issue with picking this game. Little bit of news from the Eagles game before we pick here. Swift may be starting tomorrow night and carrying most of the workload. So it could be that's DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So back to the Chiefs and Jags. If the Chiefs don't win this game, I'm gonna say this again. Like the Bills and like the Bengals, Chiefs, you are in a lot of trouble because that means that that teams have found your weakness. Mm-hmm. This is a perfect bounce back game for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm picking the team that I'm literally about 5 hours from.
And you know what? Give me the Chiefs too for that exact same reason, Trevor, because if the Chiefs don't get this done, then yeah, they're in a lot of trouble, especially if the Raiders can keep it up, especially if the Chargers can bounce back and stuff like that. I mean, the Broncos, they do look better and all that stuff too. But for me, the Chiefs, if they don't get it done, then they kind of fall potentially under the same issue the Bills and or the Bengals could fall under if they go 0-2 with a really tough hill to climb. Granted, there's still 16 games to go. You can never count anything out just yet. But yeah, give me the Chiefs in this one.
All right. Next game up, I think, and this one's going to be a painful one for you to pick, Jake and Elijah, because I know Elijah can hear us. That is the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs coming off a really close game by the Buccaneers against the Vikings, but then again, the Vikings are the Vikings, so no offense. And the Chicago Bears, they're the Chicago Bears. What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. I was just giving you the middle finger in my brain.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. The Bears being the Bears, they Chicago'd their way out. They're Chicago'd their way through that game against the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, heads up. Elijah's picking this as his upset. It looks like.
Is that confirmed, Elijah? We can see it. Is this confirmed? It is. He's picking the Bears over the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
And you know what? Hold on. What's the line? The line.
Yeah, what is the line here?
Is 2.5 for Tampa.
Ooh.
So that's not a bad pick. If it was Tampa, If it was Tom, Mother, Ethan, Brady, then it would be the Buccaneers all day. However, I hate the Buccaneers. So does you, Jake, and so does Elijah. Correct?
Eh, I mean, if anything, I hate the Vikings more than the Buccaneers because the Vikings shot themselves in the foot several thousand times in that game. But again, that's a like I say, that's a completely different live stream and different video altogether.
Yeah. I can see this game being about as. Do I say it's going to be close or do I say it's going to be an absolute blowout? It's Justin Fields versus Baker Mayfield, which I hate Baker Mayfield for a reason that I hope that if you Jake, if you know which game if I say a team name, will you understand why I hate Baker Mayfield?
Shoot.
Kansas.
Yeah. I think I can see that.
Oh, also, funny story. Speaking of Baker Mayfield, when he was on Oklahoma, the 2018 game for the week of Iowa State, and Elijah, I think I've told this to you before. I don't know if I told this to you, Jake. I had someone personally that actually went to Oklahoma. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She told her dad, who I was really good friends, I haven't talked to him in a while, but he told me Oklahoma did not practice for that game against Iowa State.
Yeah, because they had Texas following week. So they're getting ready for that, and they overlooked Iowa State, then they lost to Iowa State.
Yeah.
At home. I watched that game.
I know, I did too. I was like, how do you lose to Iowa State? And then I found out they didn't practice. I'm like, how do you not practice? Like, why? But anyway, back to Fields versus Mayfield here. I really don't know about this game here. Jake, are you on the same boat as I am here?
Honestly, yes. Especially after Elijah made this his upset. But you know what? I'm gonna say give me the Bucks at home. Because we gotta start picking a little bit differently here every once in a while. So and for that though, I still think the Bucks are like, especially after that win against the Vikings last week, I think the Bucks might have a little bit of momentum going here. Granted, I don't know if that'll necessarily mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but never mess with a team that has momentum going for them. There's always one or two teams every year that shock the crap out of you. And again, the Bucks still have a good defense. I mean, their defensive line is still very solid. So take nothing away from Tampa there. They still have a lot of great weapons. I mean, they still have Godwin, they still have Evans. They have a run game that's decent enough to, at the very least, make things, unpredictable.
You also got to look at this.
Which in this day and age is about all you really need.
Yeah. You also got to look at it this way. The Bears have DJ Moore, Herbert, and Chase Claypool.
Yeah, but Chase Claypool can't catch a ball to save his life. I mean, he dropped a wide open screen that was thrown right to
him. Kirby, who's actually in the background here, says if he can connect with Moore and activate this game and get active this game, this game will go in favor of the Bears.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, like I say, I have Justin Fields in one of my fantasy leagues as one of my quarterbacks. So I mean, I know what he can do. It's just, especially with it being in Tampa. By the way, it's still Tampa, like the weather and stuff like that down there is still kind of unpredictable. It can still be hot as what down there and stuff like that. So, and like I say, I mean, it's there, so like, literally close 15 hours ago. Coin toss.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm probably going to agree with you, Jake. I hate Baker Mayfield with a bloody freaking passion. However, I see Baker Mayfield finding a way to pull off a win in this game here. I say I'm picking the Bucks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Next game is the Oh wow, Drop a quarter in that jar that hasn't been filled in a long freaking time. The Los Angeles Chargers and the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, we know, Elijah. We're trying to hurry here. All right, Chargers and Titans. Both teams are 0-1 coming off losses. The Titans coming off a loss to the Saints. Really close matchup, but they just got away from them really easily. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. And then the Chargers blowing it against the Dolphins. Oh. So this lost my train of thought here. Reset. The Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Both teams coming off losses, so one of these teams is going to end this week 1-1. I'm going to say the Titans are going to be the ones that get the bounce back game here. Yes, I'm a Saints fan, so I have the all right to say this. The Titans had a very, very tough game against the Saints. It was they played amazingly. It's just Tannehill made too many mistakes. And
sounds about right.
If Tannehill can clean up those mistakes, he should be able to take down the Chargers this week. So, with that being said, I'm taking the Tennessee Titans. I am going to make that.
And I'm going to go with the Chargers on this one for the bounce back because the Chargers, if they don't win this game, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble as well.
So you said the Titans?
Just because, again, no, I said Chargers for me.
Chargers, okay. So I'm the only one that picks the Chargers.
Yeah, because, again, if the Chargers don't win this game, they're going to be in the same boat as, they're going to be 0-2 in the AFC West. We know what the Chiefs can do. We know what the Raiders have the talent to do, and stuff like that. So they could very easily fall behind in the AFC, and they're already down to the Dolphins and stuff like that. So, yeah, the Chargers need this one.
All right, so Elijah, don't forget to mark number 3 for that one. Next up is the wow. I am very struggling. San Francisco Giants. No, the New York Football Giants. And they will take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Giants are a 5.5 point
I think this one's going to be an easy game for me. Let's go Giants in the bounce back here.
I think we can all be in agreement on this one.
At least for me.
The Giants really need this win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give me the Giants as well. All right, next game on the slate. This should be the start of the afternoon slate. No, that was the start of the afternoon slate. Was the Giants and Cardinals. Yep. So next afternoon slate game is another NFC West matchup. It is Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. That is... I'm... You're confident in Stafford? Or you're confident in Purdy? You know what? I think...
Give me Niners.
Niners?
Just because, again, the Niners literally went into Pittsburgh last week and stomped the daylights out of them. Like, basically took their soul. In my opinion, the 49ers, I don't know if this is really a hot take, but give me the 49ers to make it to the NFC Championship game, if not the NFC representative this year.
Oh my God, is that a hot take week 2? Actually, you know what?
I feel confident enough, man.
You know what?
49ers win this one.
I'm going to go farther. Your NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep. Alrighty.
That Cy-Hawk connection. We know about it. We know the rivalry here. But when the Hawkeyes and Cyclones have players on the same team, the connection is strong.
Yes, sir. And I think this next one, as much as I hate to say it, the Cowboys are probably going to run away with this game. Next one.
I probably hate to agree with you. It is the New York Jets coming off the thrilling overtime win over the Buffalo Bills, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Can someone call 911? Oh, the Giants are the Giants' body was found and they're still alive. Okay, I just want to make sure on that. I will be agreeance here. Give me the give. I think all of us the Cowboys on this one.
At 20 Achilles.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
find
Cowboys.
The Giants' body?
And
apparently the New York Jets are still missing from the game yesterday, so or Sunday night. So, Elijah, are you also picking the Cowboys? He is currently Cowboys pretty easy.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next game. This one should also be kind of an easy game, but then again, it's also more of a. I guess you could say this one's a difficult one. Wait a second. Hold on. Oh, that's why. That's why. Okay. This one's going to be more of a difficult one. It is the Washington Commanders, who are 1-0. Which, by the way, let me point this stat out. The Commanders, the Lions, the Raiders, and there was one other team. All were 1-0 for the first time in NFL history as an entire group. I cannot remember for the life of me who that other team was. Looking at this, I think it was the Browns, but I cannot remember for the life of me. But it was the first time in NFL history that we had the Raiders, the Lions, the Commanders, and one other team, all 1-0.
And the Browns.
It was the Browns.
Yeah.
Okay. But with that being said, Jake, this guy gives you nightmares. I'm picking Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. He's totally flipping me off in his head right now. I can sense it. Oh no, we're having a slight technical difficulty over on our end. You there, Jake?
I'm here.
Okay. So I said, I don't know if you heard me when I said this, but Jake, you hate this guy. He's in your nightmares. I'm picking Sean Payton and the Broncos.
What's the line in this game? Do you know?
3.5 for Denver. I think we lost him again. Yes, we did. Okay. The minor technical difficulties.
Right, but give me the Commanders in an upset because Sam Howell actually.
I heard that. He said the Commanders in an upset.
Find a way to choke games just like the Vikings do. So give me the Commanders as my upset game.
Alrighty. Now, to Sunday Night Football forgot where this game is being played. It's more of the city. In Foxborough, Massachusetts, it is the 1-0 Miami Dolphins, who are 3-point favorites over the New England Patriots, who had Tom Brady's retirement game absolutely spoiled by the Philadelphia Eagles. Jake, do you want to carry this one first? Or are you frozen again? You are frozen again. Okay. I'll keep an eye on him. He'll come back hopefully soon. We can't hear you at all. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on a second, guys. We're having some minor technical difficulties on my end. So minor technical difficulties. Let me get them back up here really quick. Da, 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 da. In the meantime, while I get them back up here, the Miami Dolphins are coming off a win over the Los Angeles Chargers, a 36-34 nice win, if you ask me. That was actually a really close win. And then you have the New England Patriots, who like I said, who had Tom Brady's retirement game absolutely spoiled. Do you guys have me? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. We're still recording, by the way. I've never paused. So, I just basically filled space. We'll be good. So what I was saying was the Eagles played spoiler to the Tom Brady retirement game, and then
Yes.
I don't think he,
what's up? What in the world is going on here? I am having some serious connection issues here. I'll just go ahead and try and finish this out here. With if they pop in, they do. If they don't, that's fine. I'll try and finish this out because we got a college football video to film as well. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Miami Dolphins on the road here. I like Miami here. I really do. I really do. So give me the Dolphins for on the road. Next game is the Saints and Panthers. Um, Saints coming off a actual massive win on Sunday, beating the Tennessee Titans at home. They will take on a young Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers, who had 2 picks in their loss to the Atlanta Falcons. This game being in Bank of America Stadium. Give me, and this is my homer pick here. Actually, I'm gonna make this my lock because this is a 3-point game. Give me the New Orleans Saints here as my lock of the week. I like Derek Carr had it was a rocky game. I'm not even gonna lie. It was a rocky game. If the Saints want to make a statement here, definitely open up with a strong NFC South first matchup here. So definitely open up with a lock with the Saints for me. Final game of the weekend or of week 2. It is the second of 2 Monday night games, the Saints and Panthers being game 1. The Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers will be the nightcap. Cleveland being a 2.5-point favorite. Both Jake and Elijah are picking the Steelers here. The Browns are a 2.5-point favorite, 2.5-point road favorite. I think the Steelers can get a nice bounce back game here. Go ahead and give me the Steel City here. Give me Pittsburgh as my pick for this week. So we have 3 differences. Our differences are the Colts and Texans, the Chargers and Titan. Yeah, Wait, hold on. The Bears and the Buccaneers, and the Chargers and the Titans. So, yeah, that is all for NFL predictions for this week, guys. Yes, we are going to be doing a lot more NFL predictions once I get back from my trip. Like I said, I'm currently in St. Louis right now, so next week I should be I'll be back home. We shouldn't have technical difficulties with recording with Jake and Elijah next week. We tried an Instagram call, it didn't work. I don't know what we're gonna do. Might have to scratch the college football video this week, so this will be up tomorrow because this has to be up tomorrow because there are games tomorrow. So, Guys, thank you guys for tuning in for my first NFL predictions video in a while, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. See ya.